Good morning, good morning. It is November 8th and I am Kim McGillis joining you live from Regina in Saskatchewan. And it is presently 11:04 Central Time. If you are watching from back home in Ontario, shout out to my Ontario friends. It is presently 12:04. So I hope you're having a great day. Happy Friday, everyone. I am so excited about today. I'm going to be showcasing all our cards from this week, including the project that we're going to be doing today as well. So if ever you are watching live, please say hello. Let me know where you're from. And as well, if you're watching the replay, I would love for you to write a little comment there that you're catching me in the replay as well. So I'm so excited it's Friday. We have 2 more sleeps, Riley and I, and then my husband gets back here, so we get to reunite until I transfer and go back home in Ontario. I have a bunch of classes that I'll be hosting in person while I'm in Ontario as well, so it's going to be an exciting time. Let me just join you here so I can read your comments if ever there's any questions. I hope you liked yesterday's cards as well. And what I did get is a couple of questions about how did I do the second card, which I hadn't demonstrated. So I'm going to be showing you that today. And I also have like a little special offering you'll get to see. It's a question that a lot of you have been asking me for a very long time. So if ever you were there yesterday with our big drama with our dog that got attacked at the dog park, I'm going to give you a little update. Hi, Amy from Charleston. I've never been there. I'm assuming it's very warm where you are right now. Hello, Stacy. Very excited. So there's an expression that you have to get back on the horse. This morning we did go back to the dog park. So if you missed yesterday, Riley, my dog, my golden retriever, got attacked by a shepherd. So it was not a great day. Yesterday she was very mopey. She was even scared of walking in the house. So this morning I'm like, okay, Kim, let's get back on the horse. Let's get doing this. So we did go back. She was all excited, super happy. I even grabbed her a little pup cup from Starbucks, so she had that special treat. And she played with a bunch of different dogs. And then that dog, that shepherd, was still there because we always go at the same time. And then I just made sure I was like, it's a very large field, that I was on the opposite side of the field. So if ever you're an animal lover, you know what I'm going through right now. I was almost like having like hot flashes or whatever you could call them, just driving into that parking because I was so stressed that today she'd be attacked again. But my husband's like, you know what, you got to bring her back. So I was like, okay, I'll go back. So we did. She had a lovely time. I'm going to tell you, I did not stay very long because I was so stressed. So Amy's saying, come visit. I have a guest room. Yes, too warm here. I'm from New England, so I love the colder temperature this time of the year. Oh, wow, that's so fun. And hello, Lori. I just saw that you are just joining us as well. So anyways, all that to be said, I saw the shepherd. He was looking at her and he was aiming like he wanted to come and see her again. And I was like, I just retied my dog on the leash and I was like, okay, we'll wait till the shepherd moves along. And then we just continued our journey and she had a lovely time and she's resting right now. So that's the end of it. So I just wanted to let you know that we are going to be making an additional card today just because I had so many questions yesterday about that second card, and I'm going to show you one different technique today. I will also show you alternatives because I think you like alternatives, right? You love to see other things. And then Lucy's saying they called tropical moments. I love that actually. Hot flashes or whatever, tropical moments. I don't know if you're referring to that. I'm lucky I'm not quite there yet with the hot flashes, but anyways, it was just my anxiety setting in about driving to the dog park. So yeah, so I'm going to pull you down. We are going to look at our week, how it's been, what we've been creating. So if ever you're new here, you get to see this. I'm happy that today I'm showing you non-traditional, but I do have an offering at the end of the day that you'll get to see traditional as well. So hope you get to see a little bit my screen down here. I gotta hold on to that expression. So when you order for $60, you're gonna be getting this week, it will be 4 cards and pieces for a coordinating box that I know that you'll be very excited to see today. You could use my hostess code if you're from Canada, and I will have an offering if ever you're from a different country where you could purchase the PDF if you want to, because I think you will want to. There's also going to be a component that is with non-traditional colors. The cards won't be the same, and one that will be with traditional colors. So I'm very excited about that. And then if you also, instead of buying for the $60, you purchase for the $75, well, I wanted to do and give out these iridescent faced gems that I know I've been using quite often. And I find they pair beautifully with the collection. Let's start with this week. Look at all these cards, and I can't wait to display them, take beautiful pictures, just like we did with last week's project. We started with this color combination and just worked on our snowflakes. So this was Monday, and you know what? As you're looking at the cards today, I would like you to comment. Did you prefer Monday's card, Tuesday's? So you could just say, like, this would be card number 1. So we had a fun time doing this technique, and I've used this technique all week long. So if ever, you can catch the replay in the first video. Then on day 2, and I've switched a couple of things because I'm trying to place them for photography just so we could see our entire week. So I've added different things, so you'll get to see that. This was card number 2, and then a different little layout, and then we used the same technique except we did the foliage. So this would be card number 2. So I'm not sure if you prefer that. Lori's saying happy Friday. Me too. I'm so excited that it's Friday. I have to say though, it's been now 1 month that I haven't been doing my nursing job full time, and I told my husband I do not see the days go by. He's laughing. He's like, I love seeing you, that you're having such a great time and you're not struggling the fact that you're not working full time. Will I go back to work? Maybe. I'm not too sure yet. But I, at least for the time being, it has been like superb. Okay, now we have 2 other cards, and I think that was Wednesday. The fold was a little bit different, and for the first one, I decided to add a little bit of fresh freesia to make it stand out even more on the one side. We still did the foliage, but this time we did a wreath. And then this would have been more of the Avid stamper. We've used the Country lace designer series paper. We've also used the Country Woods for the sleigh. So it's been great. Great card for that. And then the second one is more like of a beginner card. So you do see that Sled and the designer series paper a lot more for this one. And at least it's a little bit more simpler. You just had to color in. So this would have been like our Wednesday cards. So I'm not sure if you prefer these. And then yesterday was very fun because I showed you a bunch of different alternatives. One is more simple, and I said to you that I needed to bring in some snowflakes. So we have this version where I stamp that too. For me, it's a very simple card. And if you don't want to do Monday's technique with the snowflake like this, you could just stamp it and then, or punch it out on your own. I know we see a lot of blue when you're looking at the camera here, but it does blend beautifully if you push it a little. So that was yesterday. And then we had with the wreath that we did together. So we get to see this one as well. Stacy's saying that she loves them all and it's very hard to choose. The fact that today is very sunny, when I find that I have a big window in my studio here, when it's very sunny, I think the white cards will stand out perfectly. So I'll be able to take a big picture of all of them. So you'll get to have a sampler version of all of them. And then we have our wow card, the Avid card, which was this one, but this is all from Thursday's cards. And then this one was a full wreath. I had so much left over from our technique from the Monday, which was actually with these, that I did a lot of the foliage. So if you prefer and you're more of an avid stamper, then you might want to use or do this card. So here we have it. And then, which comes to the discussion of today, is that I had this special fold and a lot of you had questions about it. So we will do it together today. And then I'm going to show you what I'm talking about, my traditional collection and the box that you will have that will be included in either the PDF or the class to go. So I just love the simplicity of this technique, and we'll do the opposite. And I also have like one special technique to show you today. It's something that I've done years ago. I've been a demonstrator for 18 years. Well, years ago, I did this technique because I used to have a technique class that every month in my house, and it was very popular. So I want to show you what we did. So you're going to grab a piece this morning of fresh freesia. You could use any color that you want. I also want to mention that today we're going to be using a combo of balmy blue, which I'm trading it a little bit, gray granite, and fresh freesia. So if you prefer this portion of your card to be balmy blue, it's up to you. It's still going with our entire collection. I'm sticking with the fresh freesia today. So your card base, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then your second piece is going to be 3 1/2 by 5 1/2. And I don't want you, and this one is in basic white. I do not want you to have to glue this right away because we have an extra step to do. Lori's saying that she made all 4 cards, still needs to make the alternatives. They are all so pretty. Well, I'm so happy you were able to make them all. And if ever, I don't know, Lori, did you use a different color combo, or did you keep this color combo? Did you go with traditional, non-traditional colors? Because you could almost repeat this entire process in a very traditional color of reds and greens. And then Lucy's saying that they are all beautiful. Number 1 for showcasing the technique, but my favorite is the full wreath with the skates. Love that as well. So, and then we'll have this now, this third piece that says that it's a 3 inch by 6. And we're going to create this fold at 5 1/2. When you're using cardstock, I want to tell you that you almost want to go one little line more than the 5 1/2. So in my instructions, you'll get to see that. You can fold at 5 1/2, but what happens is when you create that fold, sometimes it shrinks a little bit, and then you have that little line at the bottom that might be a little shorter. So if you want, you would just go that extra step. Instead of scoring at 5 1/2, you could almost score at 1, 2, 3, 4, at 5/8 instead. So 5 5/8 instead of 5 1/2. That's my tip. If you don't, it doesn't bother you, then you can still do it at 5 1/2 because both pieces are at 5 1/2. It's just that you might have to just play with it a little bit more, and because it's so sturdy. So that's that. You'll also need a strip of DSP, whichever you have. I'm going to be using the Country Lace because I want to keep going with the same collection. And this will be 3 by 1 1/2. And Lori's saying that she did use exactly the same colors. So you went with the non-traditional colors, just like me. So we're going to be doing exactly what we did yesterday. We're going to be using our cutting machine, and then we're going to be using, once again, the style shape dies. So we're continuing with the style shape dies, and we're going to be just cutting a slight little circle with this piece. My tip, once again, is you almost want to have it at the top portion where you did that score line. So that's just one of my tips. And today, I'm going to show you the different alternatives. So when you're looking at your stylish shape dies, I'm just going to pull them out. Mine are moving around a little bit. I have to put them on magnets. But this would be the second. So number 2 that goes right on the inside. This will be third. For today, I'm gonna use the third one, but for my alternate card that I'm gonna show you after, you'll wanna use the second one. So that's just one of my tips for today. I'm gonna be also pulling out back my scrap pieces from Monday's technique. And for the sake of, I'm gonna be die cutting one of these snowflakes today, just because we want to continue adding to the collection. So I just want to make sure that if ever you want to use that extra piece, so you'll see me die cutting twice today. And our snowflakes, we were using one of a kind bundle. We also used the frozen edge bundles. So there are a bunch of different stamp sets of snowflakes that I have listed earlier on this week. For today's sake, this piece is part of the one-of-a-kind bundle. So it's on page 45 of our mini catalog. So I'm going to start with that first circle here. Just quickly. The extra piece, save them for another time. I keep them all together, so you don't want to waste that. So you want to keep that portion for sure. And then I'm just going to do that snowflake. And I'm going to try to grab a little bit of a portion of the fresh freesia, a little bit of the blue, because snowflakes are all different. And I do want to have that look of all of them. Here we go, and I'll have to pop off all the little specks that did not come out. We could do that later. And then you're gonna take the banner from the round we go the dies that we did also earlier this week. So this is round we go, and then I've cut a little banner that is in fresh freesia, and I just snipped the extra portion off, so you get to see this portion. What I like about this is that when we are going to set our border, the score line fits perfectly where we would want to snip it. So it's not like you're in half a border, it fits exactly properly where we want it. So we're going to just pull our card pieces together and we're going to get started. So I'm just going to fold this portion right here. Grab some dimensionals here. And then we're going to add some adhesive. Up to you. We've talked about it this week. You could use like the strip if you want to use the strip. If you want to use the green glue, you could use the green glue. For this portion, I like to use the sticky tape. I just find that it goes a lot better. So I'm just gonna add some sticky tape right here. And this card, you could repeat this design with a lot. This is a fun fold, and I guess it's kind of a fun fold Friday that we could call it, but you could do this design however with any stamp set that you want. So I'm just aiming it at the bottom and then I'm sticking it at the back. So when you turn it around, this is what it looks like. I don't know if you get to see this part. I'm just gonna help you just slightly here. So it's just, it opens like a flap like this. So I don't know if you see that extra flap here. Here we go. So this part is gonna go right in here. If you wanna do it with designer series paper, you could do that. Christine is saying, hey, hello, happy Friday. Well, happy Friday to you as well. Then our little piece that we talked about earlier to coordinate. This one is the 3 by 1.5, and I made sure to place it that my strips would be on the vertical way. I really wanted the strips vertical, so that's what I did for that. So your long end would be 3 inches, and then the short side would be the 2. the 1.5, sorry. Okay, and then now we're gonna add that little border just at the top to coordinate with the rest. And like I said, if you look at this fold right here, it just fits perfectly that I could just snip it right on the line. So now I can just add that extra adhesive because I didn't want to add adhesive where we weren't using that card. So there you go. So that fits beautifully right in there. And now we're ready that we can go ahead and adhere that card base just so it fits right in here. Look how beautiful these colors come together. I don't know if you see how beautiful it is on your end, but it is pretty here. And then this would be this portion here. I almost want to leave it blank like this because it's so cute. So now I'm going to pull in my snowflake. Sometimes simple is prettier. Like adding too much could be overwhelming. So I sometimes feel like simpler is a lot better. And then we're just going to add our snowflake right in the center. This. And then we have lots of little leftover pieces from this week. I have a full jar of them. So I'm just gonna go and look in for something that coordinates. Those are all my pieces. You wanna keep them. I don't want purple. I want purples. I don't want blue. So I'm just gonna go here. And then we could layer another one right on top. We could actually pop it slightly just so it stands out a little bit more. I'm gonna do that. And then I'm gonna take out our fabulous gems. If you want the blues to stand out, you could do the blues, up to you, but those are all die cut from Monday's Technique. Here we go. And now we're gonna add our iridescent gems. Adding it right here. And then I'm gonna take this silver trim that I have, which is included in their kits to go if ever. I'm gonna do 1 loop, 2 loop, 3, 4. So it's like doing an 8 2 times. I'm gonna run it through like if I'm tying a shoelace and then do a knot. So I'm just gonna show you this once I've snipped. The first time I do it is always just to measure how long I want of a bow. So here we go. 1, 2, which is my 8. Another 8 is 1, 2, and then I'm looping around, and then you just run through just like a shoelace. If ever you've done this card fun fold, I'd love to know. It's one of my go-tos. I love to do that technique. Especially when you have like tiny stamp sets where you want to display in a circle. And then this is just going to be going right here. I'm going to add that little piece right there. I'm just going to grab a mini glue dot to display that. And I'm going to take fresh freesia. And for this card, I don't think I'm going to add any greetings on the top. I think my greetings are going to come from are going to be inside. So I'm just going to use the one of a kind since we used the one of a kind die. And I'm just going to sending flurry and happy wishes is the greeting that I'll use for today just to make it a little bit different. So I'll use this one right here. And just make sure that when you are stamping the wish, the greeting, you want to go in the lower portion so it doesn't show in your circle. So if you go too high here, it's not going to be good. So you just want to go a little lower. So here we have it. You could also put a card in there if you wanted to. So this is our fun fold. This is with the iridescent ribbon and a bow. And now I want to show you this technique from way back in the day. If ever you've been a demonstrator for a long time or a customer for a long time, you'll be like, oh, I remember that. I'm going to set these aside. You're going to take one of your stamping cases. Stampin' Up also sells them if you don't want to use your own. You're going to take a baby wipe, and then we're going to be adding some fresh freesia. I just want to grab it. Here it is. Refill. You're going to add a couple of drops in here. You're going to add some balmy blue, and I did not use azure. If you want a brighter one, it's up to you. You can do so. And then we're going to pull our large snowflake from the one of a kind. So I'm going to be using my large snowflake. And this called, I believe, the baby wipes technique. We're going to be stamping that snowflake right here. If ever you've done this technique, I'd love to hear about it. And then we're just going to stamp on our paper, and then it does this look. So I added a lot of blues for this card, but you don't have to. And then we could just die cut that extra piece right there to show what it looks like. And the outcome is pretty cute. So here's my finished card with the same technique. And I've also popped up one of those little tiny snowflakes that I had left over from this week. And then you get to see with the small one, with the larger one, the technique. Could we add Wink of Stella? Absolutely. So Lucy said she made the one similar to this one I showcased last year with the Christmas kit, which features a picture of your girls. Oh, that's cute. It had multiple layers. Such a beautiful card. Well, that's lovely. So now we have a bunch of them here with this layout, and then we could add all the others for today, which gives you lots of snowflakes, plus the sophisticated sled, lots of different options. And I will be just showcasing them all together so you get to see the entire collection. But it's been wonderful, like to design all these colors all week long. It's been great. So what I'm suggesting is I always like, when I use and do a big bundle of card classes, what I like to do is a coordinating box. So you will see either on my social media, if you follow me, or my blog, you'll see a coordinating box that goes beautifully with them. And when I talked at the beginning of our live today that I was going to be offering the extra optional class, this is the box design that I'll be doing. So you get to see it here. And it's something that I hosted in July, and people have been asking me for the card class, this card class as well. So you'll get this box in fresh freesia if ever you are working with this collection from this week. So when you place your order, you'll get all the pieces and the instructions to make the box. Or if you are a traditional person, more than a non-traditional, cards are going to be slightly different though. It's going to be this traditional color or the fresh freesia with maybe a little bit of balmy blue, gray granite for the non-traditional. So depending on which one you want, those will be classes on PDFs that are going to be offered. And I just find that it makes it a very beautiful gift. It opens as well. All the cards come in either from the back side or the inside, depending on how you want to make them. There's 4 different designs cards and the card box as well. So you get all instructions for this one. If you prefer non-traditional, then the box itself will just be slightly different in non-traditional, etc. So you'll get that. You could either just buy the PDF if you want, or you could also get them just with your order, with your $60 order with your PDF. So I just love both. I don't know. I don't have a favorite. I'm not sure which you prefer. Are you more of a non-traditional for Christmas cards? Or do you think you like more the traditional? I'd love to hear about what your preferences are. So thank you for joining me this week. It's been amazing. I love it. Loved all our creations this week. Love what we've done together. I'm so happy to see that some of you have been assembling your card already. You've done already the 4. You get that extra today to add on. And then I'll be showcasing right on Facebook the full display with the Fresh Freesia box, or this one that is more of a traditional color. So I would love to see in your comments if you're more of a non-traditional lover or a traditional lover. Anyways, that's it for today. I'm wishing you a very lovely weekend. Have a great weekend, everyone. And we will see each other at 11 Central Time on Monday. Bye-bye.